Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. How's it going? Thank you for coming back, checking these things out. If you do me a favor and reach over and hit that subscribe button. If you like what's going on, hit that like button, please. And today we're back on the 64. We're going to work on the rear suspension, or basically the notch, C-notch for the rear. Get this thing going and use a little CAD, cardboard aided design, and get this done. I was using one that I'd bought somewhere else. Just don't like how it's working out. I want to use the arms that I have in here. Basically, just want to finish this with a build of you have almost everything, figure it out and use what you got. Stop buying stuff way too far into this thing. So I went in steel yard, got some steel, and we're going to do a little bit of work back here. Let's check it out. Well, as you can see right here, here's the bracket or the C-notch I bought. There's a whole bunch of pieces over there go with this for both sides. I don't like how this is working out because the arms that I have that I bought that I want to use, they won't fit with this to get it all the way on the ground. So I'm going to pop this off. I'm going to make a 3x4 square box. Come up here. Then we will do another one that comes up roughly in here. And then a piece that comes across to tie those into, give it the similar height, just a longer length. Make everything a little easier for these arms to fit up underneath. And then give me a place where I can put the bags on it when I'm ready to do the bags. All right, so here's some of what I got for the steel. We got a 3x3 square box and some 1x1 to build some bracing to go across here to hold up the floor that should be somewhere about in this area once I'm finished. And then for this piece of CAD that I already started, go over here to the metal workbench, and here's a piece of 3x4, and we'll just lay that on there, mark it all out, get it ready to cut. Okay, so you can see one jack stand there, one jack stand there. They're both on each side. And then in the front, got the jack stands there. Underneath, on this frame rail right here, I ran a level across to get it leveled from front to back. That's about where the cab will be level. Everything else should work off of the cab. And now you can see here, I've got it notched up in there. Get all that cleaned up and looking good. And you'll see what I'll do is weld along here, up in there, up this way, bring it across and around the top there. Same thing on that side. You can see what the notch looks like there. And then after I get that in, then I got to figure out where the front one's going to be. Make a cardboard aided template up there, or cardboard aided design. Get the front one in, do the same thing. We'll throw the long level, that yellow one, across there. Get it all tacked in and weld it for weld. Then I'll build a piece that goes from this one across to wherever I stop that one. And get it all nice and neat. All right, here we go. All the general areas are cleaned up. After I get done, I'll spray some stuff inside everything that'll keep it from rusting. But you can see how that one's sitting in there. And the surfaces that I'm going to weld. And I was wrong a minute ago, because everything this way in between there is going to get cut out. So all the welds would just be down around here, up inside of this, across this way. Nothing in front of it. All right, let's do this again. Oh, look at that. All you gotta do is do it multiple times. That's good. That's good there. That's really close. And that's on the money. Okay, let's lock this one in. And then I think I need to lock the bottoms in. Now I need Got another tool, get the bottom locked in, and then we can tack it. Okay guys, been a couple of days working on the truck. Well, from working on the truck. I was running around picking up some stuff. And as you can see, now I have something else I need to work on. Dealing with the insurance, trying to get that figured out from some jerk. Early morning traffic. You know, brake checks and all the other crap. Zigzagging between lanes, trying to keep you from going anywhere to get out of the way so they can, you know, go on with their day. But yeah, besides that, let's see what we got done over here today. All right, well, like I said, you know, I'm more of a grinder than a welder, but the longer you do this, the better things will start to look. And yeah, I put these parts in here on a diamond just because I think it'll be a little different. Like I said, it's my truck. We'll do what I want, how I want. And if you're doing something of the same, do it the way you want it. Be different. Do what you want. Don't worry about what anybody says. So they're starting to look better. I mean, nice and chunky down there. Not too bad down there. Better up here. Getting better over there. Well, here in a minute, I'm gonna get down to cutting this section out of it and seeing how it looks without it, and then probably drop it down and see what it looks like laid out. right, here we go. Back end's done to a certain point. Well, like I said, as we go on, welds get better and better. So, and I'm here making this a second time because the last time I left the radio going, and yeah, you can't have all this stuff in there when you're doing a video. But what do you guys think? Are we lay down enough, or should we lay it out a little more? I don't think it's quite enough, but I only got about 1.5 inches before the front suspension hits the ground. But the back does look like it needs to come down a hair. I can do that easy. And we go over here. You can see under there, we got about 1.5 inches, 2 inches that I could drop that. Just keeping that in there so it doesn't fall. But biggest issue is oil pan is almost on the ground. So what I'm going to have to do is modify, I think it's Dirty Dingo that made these mounts, and cut these 2 arms off, make 2 new ones, raise that up a bit. As you can see, we got plenty of room in there. And then you go in here, we have plenty of room to move this stuff around, pick it up, do some more. And I think that trans mount was part of the Dirty Dingo kit, but it's not too bad. I think it looks fairly good for now. You know, what's funny is nobody's even commented on my wheels. But cool. And then there's one of the airbags sitting there. I think I'm actually gonna put it up in there. Don't know quite yet. We'll see how that progresses. But I'm just looking and thinking for right now. But I do want to do, like I said, a triangulated 4 links. So I already got the 2 links in the bottom. 1, 2. Then bring another set from here back to another brace I'll put in under that one. So pinch point there, wide out here, pinch point there, wide out here. That'll hold everything in place. Either that or maybe do a wishbone on it. I don't know. See what happens as it progresses. But, well, that's it for this video on this side. And we'll move on to the next one here in a minute. But you guys, if you like this stuff, please subscribe. It helps me out. Like that thing. That helps me out too. If you hit the little bell, it'll tell you next time I throw up another video. It'll either be on the 64. We have the Mustang we could do. There's a Fox body Mustang hiding under that one that most of you will hate me for the color. Now I got to do a bunch of work on this. We have another Camaro outside that needs more work. There's a Ford Focus I got to hook up. Get ready to switch kids with it now that the Tahoe's done. So I got stuff around here that needs work, stuff that needs done, stuff that needs fixed, stuff that needs maintained. Who knows? Maybe we'll even do something stupid like figure out there's a go-kart I want to get ready for the kids for this year, and it's a 1-wheel peel, and maybe we'll figure out how to add a full axle to that thing and make it a little more fun. But for now, please hit those buttons for me, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you. Have a good day.